In a learning culture, everyone learns from everyone else, and responsibility for learning is shared by all. The learning is a continuous process and is fulfilling for both the organisation and the individual. The learning culture is essentially non-hierarchical and is characterised by cooperation, teamwork, creativity, empowerment and quality. The diagram on screen shows the outcomes of a 6-year study under the leadership of David Mellon from 2010. It's called A High Impact Learning Culture, the best 40 practices for creating an empowered enterprise. The research is built around the 7 elements of culture and the 40 practices that impact leadership, management, and the entire organization's ability and motivation to learn. These elements, working together, result in a wide variety of business benefits. A self-assessment is an employee's evaluation of their own performance during the specified performance period. The purpose of a self-assessment is to have the employee think about and give serious consideration to how they've performed in meeting expectations. Self-assessments give employees an active role to play in their learning and development. Rather than simply being the recipient of feedback from their manager, the employee is given a voice. This active participation helps them to be more engaged with their performance. It also allows the organisation to plan learning programs around real staff needs rather than inappropriate programs imposed without staff consensus. To enhance the company's image and reputation, it's important to promote the organisation's learning culture in internal and external forums. Examples include business and staff meetings, newsletters and bulletins, and professional networks. Some of the benefits of actively supporting organisational sharing of knowledge include enhancement of effectiveness and efficiency by spreading good ideas and practices, cost effectiveness as knowledge is developed and then reused by many people, time savings as employees learn from their mistakes and those of others, emotional relief and decreased tension are experienced when problems are shared, bonds and connections between employees are strengthened as problem solving brings people together, more sophisticated ideas, insights and information sources are applied to problems, resulting in better solutions. Innovation and discovery increase, as does excitement, engagement and motivation. A feeling of satisfaction from sharing knowledge, much like giving charity, results from making a contribution to society. Respectful ways of using knowledge with attribution and permission benefit the person who generates the knowledge and the person who shares it. Let's look at strategies for organisational learning. Some strategies to promote a learning culture include bringing natural learners into the organisation and encouraging all employees to learn through a choice, consequence, correction cycle. Encouraging employees to look for patterns in their experience and to transfer knowledge from one setting to another. You can provide forums like meetings or training where people have the authority and the opportunity to reflect on better ways to do their jobs. You can help teams become more creative and insightful by bringing new people into the teams and by operating teams in a way that encourages constructive debate and dialogue. You can allow teams to generalize their learning through team audits and on their purpose, their decision making and their relationships. You can encourage teams to create new ways of doing work through experimentation, competency acquisition, continuous learning and benchmarking. And finally, you can share knowledge and ideas across different divisions within the organisation. The tables on screen are based on the findings of Frederick Hertzberg. Hertzberg was a psychologist. Hertzberg found that, first and foremost, hygiene factors need to be in place. Hygiene factors don't themselves motivate, but if they're missing, they can act as demotivators. Hygiene factors include the organisation's policy and administration, the relationships we have with others at work, the employee's salary, their job security, their working conditions, and their status. Motivation, on the other hand, is based around a second set of factors, which are identified, not surprisingly, as motivators. Motivators include a sense of achievement, gaining recognition for the things we've achieved, opportunities for advancement, the nature of the work itself, development opportunities, and the degree of responsibility that the employee has. Okay, I think we agree that one of the best ways of creating a learning culture is for you as a manager to develop an unconditional positive regard for your employee. So we're not live, but I would ask you to consider a few ways that you as a manager can demonstrate a positive regard for your employees. Some of these ways that you might come up with include increasing your interaction with employees. You should take the time to discuss learning and development issues and get to know your employees on a personal level. You should also adopt an acceptance attitude. This will increase the self-esteem of your staff. You should increase your personal involvement. As a manager, you should share information up to a point with your employees to demonstrate that you know they're real people. Demonstrating respect is another point. As a manager, you should create positive interactions with your staff that show respect. You should encourage trust and honesty. You should think positively about your staff's intentions, style, and behaviours. Trust leads to honesty. By demonstrating empathy, you as a manager can appreciate the worldview of your staff, their frame of reference, the point of view that they've got. This will also lead to trust and them supporting you as a leader. By demonstrating understanding, which is different to empathy, as a manager, you should be aware of your employees' actions. They also need to understand the fears, successes, and failures of the staff that they're working with. And by demonstrating genuineness, you as a manager should be able to recognize your employees' own feelings, accept them, live them, and express them.